Welcome back in, episode 103 of the Sports Information Podcast. I'm your host, Hop Hopkins, and as always, we've got a great show planned for the night. It's late night, we're in the office, grinding, but somebody's got to, right? Somebody's got to tell you what the game script's going to be like for the week 7. I know you're dying to know. Anyway, we got a super quick but incredibly awesome week 6 recap plan, and when I say awesome, I mean it's going to be super obnoxious if you're a friend of mine. Sorry about you. Week 7 predictions, along with another A-plus player of the week pick, and then we're going to do another 2 must-see TV games. And just keep in mind, these are all games and players that I'm going to be tuning into and watching myself. Me and the roommates will have these games on. We've got 3 TVs every Sunday. There's nothing like it. But I'll never gaslight you guys. I'll never tell you to watch anything that I don't actually believe in. And as always, we got the producer's questions at the end. It's arguably the best part of the show. I know you guys love that. So again, 30, 35 minutes, in and out. Be sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell, whatever. But first, 2 things actually. First, here's what missed the cut. Got the roommate quote of the week. Shohei Ohtani is the best person who has played in a baseball game to ever walk the earth. And that's coming from my baseball coach, roommate. Again, I'm just not going to unpack it. Anyway, and then ESPN dropped a new top 50 NBA players list. I'm not talking about it. I looked at it. I got some beef, but we're not talking about it today. It's just not on the show, guys. And then a quick shout out to Hanover men's soccer. They just won 9-0 over MSJ today. Throttled them from the jump. Truthfully, it was not close. GG's in the chat. Nah, all that jazz, you know. But all right, on with the show. Let's rock. A block, week 6 recap. I got 6 minutes written down, so we're going to try and stay true to that. Give me a little timer over there, please, and then give me a ding verbally when we've hit it. But week 6 started off with 49ers, Seahawks. 6 minutes. 49ers, Seahawks on Thursday Night Football. Bang, right on the head. 1 for 1. We picked the 49ers. Said it out loud on the show last week, episode 102. Go watch it if you haven't. Jags at Bears. I actually went into a little bit of detail on what this game script was going to be like. I said Caleb and Trevor both are younger quarterbacks. Obviously, one's a rookie. They have a lot to prove. They're going to be slinging the ball, trying to, show why they're really good quarterbacks. Trevor's trying to prove he can be in that elite category one day and not in the conversation of next quarterback to get benched. And I said the Jags are going to struggle against a really tough Bears defense, and the Bears are going to have a heyday on a terrible Jags team. And sure enough, the Bears went on to defeat the Jags 35-16. Both quarterbacks threw for some 230-some-odd yards. I mean, Caleb had 226, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Trevor had 234, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Only missed 9 all day. Caleb had a little bit better completion percentage as well, I think I just saw. Bucks at Saints. I said Bucks over the Saints, and the Bucks beat the Saints 51-27. Enough said there. Shout out Baker. Ravens Commanders. That was a must-see TV game for us. That had the A-plus player of the week in it, and I picked the Ravens, and I gave game script on that. I said Lamar's going to show Jaden Daniels why, there's a difference between a 2-time MVP vet and a rookie. And as good as Jaden Daniels has been this year, and as good as he was in the game, 24 of 35, 269 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson was 20 of 26 for 323 yards, and he had a touchdown and interception. 1 less touchdown, and he had an interception, but he had almost 100 more yards. Well, about 50. What is that? Yeah, about 50 more yards, and then he only missed 6 of his passes, and he threw the ball 9 fewer times. So, Lamar just efficient and spectacular in that game. I don't know if he was quite A-plus player of the week, but he's certainly in the running there. That's a great game. Cardinals at Packers. I took the Packers, and the Packers, throttled the Cardinals 34-13. Jordan Love had 4 touchdowns and 1 interception, 22 of 32, 258. Excuse me. And, Kyler and the Cardinals continue to struggle. Next, who'd we have? Colts-Titans. I picked the Colts. I'm pretty sure they were an underdog this week. I didn't get a chance to look at any of the odds per se, but I definitely picked the Colts. And this is our team. This is our horse, whatever. Or something about bleeding blue. That guy on social media, he's great. Colts win 20-17 over the Titans. It's a big divisional win for us. Probably, I think we're second in the division now. You have to be, right? Texans at Patriots. Texans beat the piss out of them. I mean, it's 41-21, but a lot of those points for the Patriots were in the latter half of the game. I mean, yeah. They didn't. That 14 of their points were in the last half. So now the Texans also put up a lot of their points in the second half. So I didn't watch that game. But either way, pick the Texans. We knew it was going to happen. Patriots are a bad football team this year. Eagles at Browns. We took the Eagles 20-16 over the Browns. Chargers at Broncos. Excuse me. I picked the Chargers. I even said on air, have some courage in your convictions. And I was like, I'm rocking with the Chargers. Thank God I did. I called it a stupid pick. Now I'm still not sure that that's not true. But hey, we won. We got the pick. And then Steelers over the Raiders. That was easy money all day long. And then the Raiders were what I thought were in shambles before. Now they're really in shambles without Devontae Adams. He got traded to the Jets. Falcons and Panthers. I picked the Falcons. I said, give me Kirk over the Panthers all day long, and look what happened. Lions beat the Cowboys for the first time since Dak Prescott's been a starting quarterback, and I picked that game. What do you know? 47-9 Lions over Cowboys. Bengals over the Giants. Saw it coming from a mile away. I thought it'd be a little bit bigger of a score difference, but 17-7 victory for Joe Burrow and the defenseless Bengals. Bills over the Jets. Close one. 23-20. Divisional win for the Bills. I think they'll win that division still. I said it at the beginning of the year. I don't know why people thought that it would be any different in that division just because Aaron Rodgers is with the Jets again. I said it last week. I'll say it again. Jets are a bad football team. And Aaron Rodgers is no longer a good quarterback. Doesn't mean he's a bad quarterback, guys. But he's no longer a good one. He's just not. Sorry. All right. That's week 6. Is that timer done yet? Damn, I cleared it. Let's go, boys. All right. Week 7 predictions. This is going to be fun. We're going to do the same thing. Pick outright winners for each game. Probably fly through that. I looked at the games a little bit beforehand, naturally. And there's not a lot of tough ones other than Chiefs-Niners. Obviously, that's ultimately a pick 'em. But without McCaffrey, spoiler alert, I'm probably leaning towards the Chiefs. And then we're going to do an A-plus player of the week and 2 must-see TV games. And those are games that, again, will be on one of 3 screens in my living room. Count it. Book it. Broncos at Saints tomorrow at 8:15 Eastern time. I almost said Central. At 8/7 Central. Not hard at all. Give me the Saints. The Broncos just don't do it. Sean Payton, you don't have enough going for you on the roster to get things done the way you did in New Orleans. And while you are the better coach, New Orleans beats bad football teams this year. I mean, that's what they've done. That's what they've done all year, right? Let's go look real quick. Let's go look at their schedule. Okay, pull up the Saints schedule. Click see more. Okay, and then they beat the Panthers 47-10. What are the Panthers? Bad football team. They beat the Cowboys 44-19. What are the Cowboys this year? A bad football team. They lost to the Eagles 15-12. The Eagles are an at best average football team. Saints, Falcons, they lost 26-24. It took a miracle comeback from Kirk Cousins. I think it was just a bad start of the game and first half of the game, really, by the Falcons. Let's recap that. Actually, no. The Falcons just kind of let the Saints hang around. So anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to the Falcons and the Saints. I'm not the biggest fan of both teams. They lost to the Chiefs. They got throttled by the Bucs. But what I said stands true. They beat bad football teams, and the Broncos are a bad football team. I know what I'm talking about there, fellas. I'm sure Noah's going to clip that same thing. I don't know what you're talking about. Patriots at Jags. Dude, that's going to be the hardest game to pick ever. Give me the Jags. If Trevor Lawrence, I'm saying it now. If you lose to the Patriots, we're done. We're done here. You're out of the conversation for the next 2 years minimum for elite status. If you lose to the Patriots on Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Is that game in London? Yeah. It's the only reason it's going to be at 9:30 a.m. That was a dumb question. So, yeah. Give me the Jags over the Patriots. We got the Saints over the Broncos. We got the Jags over the Patriots. 2 technical home favorites, I guess. The Saints are definitely at home. Vikings, Lions. Now that game is going to be crazy. That is going to be awesome. Divisional games have been kind of all over the place this year, not really holding true to the standard of low scoring and closely contested. I think that game's going to be a high scoring game, especially now that Aiden Hutchinson is out. Godspeed on the recovery, my friend. That was a gruesome leg injury. Jeez, I don't even know how to begin to pick that one. Ooh, I want to pick the Vikings so bad, but it's really hard to bet against those Lions, man. Jared Goff is rolling. Dan Campbell seems to be on it. Oh, my goodness. Give me the Lions. Shout out Aunt Annie. That's my great aunt. She's a big Lions fan up in Michigan. Shout out the fam. We'll go with the Lions. We'll rock with the adjacent hometown heroes. Titans, Bills. Titans at Bills. Give me the Bills. Colts hosting the Dolphins. Dolphins don't have a good quarterback. Oh, this feels like a bad game for the Colts. Give me the Colts. I'm picking with my heart on that one. Seahawks. Oh, man. I don't know if I want to do that. There's just not enough. Oh, I should have looked into some, yards allowed, pass yards allowed, things like that before I made that pick. Colts, Dolphins. We might not have Taylor either. You know what? Shane Steichen's not going to let us lose that one at home. Not to a team without a competent quarterback. Give me the Colts. The Dolphins have been terrible since they've lost Tua anyway. Have they won a game, actually? Can we find that out? I don't think they've won a game since Tua went out. So, yeah, definitely give me the Colts. That's how we just locked that one in. Seahawks at Falcons. This one's interesting. Because Geno and Kirk are almost the same quarterback this year, to my eye. I haven't looked into that statistically. I did a whole argument comparing two other quarterbacks in their first 4 years, and I dove super deep into the stats on that. But this one I haven't looked at stats at all. But just watching them this year, they seem to be playing the same kind of football. The Seahawks seemingly have a better run game just because Bijan doesn't fill up a stat sheet the way that Kenneth Walker kind of does this year. And Tyler Algier doesn't do it because they're splitting so much. So I just don't even know. Give me the Falcons at home. I know that's counterintuitive to everything I just talked myself through, but Kirk's been playing lights out in big moments. And this feels like one of those games where you don't want to lose it. It's a home game, and he's kind of been rolling with Drake London. Like, that connection's been building. Give me the Falcons there. Give me the Falcons. Texans at Packers. Yo. Spoiler alert, that might be primetime must-see TV. Yo. The Texans at the Packers. Wow, that's going to be a great game. Super big shootout. Incoming. Give me the Packers. Give me the Packers. The Packers just seem a little more poised than the Texans this year, I think. Especially when Jordan Love's at the helm. And Matt LaFleur, is as good as D'Amico Ryans has been, I mean, Matt LaFleur is just on another level this year. Like I said, he was finding ways to win with Malik Willis out there, dude. Granted, one of his teams that he beat was my Colts, who are about as competent as the Cowboys this year. So, Browns at Bengals. Bengals. Joe Beasy. I understand that your defense is not that good, dog. One might even say Garbunco. But you got to find a way to beat the Browns. Divisional game. In their place. You beat them here, you almost assure you're sweeping them on the season because you're not losing at home. Just go out there and win it. I know you can. I'm picking you to do it. Go do it. Eagles at Giants, another divisional game. That's incredible. Give me the Eagles over the Giants. Raiders at Rams. Give me the Rams. Give me the Rams by a lot, actually. Panthers at Commanders. Wow. Jaden Daniels bounce back game, baby. Ha ha. Wow, I might change my A-plus player of the week pick. That's awesome. Chiefs at Niners. Sunday, 4:25. Guys, I'm just going to spoil it now. This is a must-see TV game. Super Bowl rematch, duh. Mahomes is 5-0. Travis Kelce has yet to find a touchdown, I think, right? Hold on. Did I just make an uh-oh? Travis Kelce stats. Yeah, no, I didn't make an uh-oh. I was correct. He's yet to find the end zone. So, must-see TV there. And give me the Chiefs. Jets, Steelers. Oh, give me the Steelers. And it's in Pittsburgh. Give me the Steelers for sure. Ravens at Bucks. I think that game has potential. This is Monday Night Football, along with Chargers and Cardinals on Monday Night Football. I think the Ravens-Bucks has potential to be an awesome game as well. Give me the Ravens, though. That also has potential to be a 17-6 type of game. Now, do I think it's probably more likely going to be a 27-28, like 27-28-ish to 21-23 kind of game? Yeah, but it could totally be a 17-6 game. Both of those teams have just been up and down kind of with scoring. And Chargers, Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals. This is in Arizona, too. Monday Night Football, 9 o'clock. Give me the Cardinals. Yep. So those are the picks for the week. We got the Saints over the Broncos, the Jags over the Patriots, the Lions over the Vikings, the Bills over the Titans, the Colts over the Dolphins, the Falcons over the Seahawks, Packers over Texans, Bengals over Browns, Eagles over Giants, Rams over Raiders, Commanders over Panthers, Chiefs over Niners, Steelers over Jets, Ravens over Bucks, and Cardinals over Chargers. Book it. Thank me later. That's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's another 14-0 week, baby. I had to make sure it was 14 games again. These bye weeks are screwing me over on how many games are each week. It's throwing me off. It probably doesn't even change. I'm just an idiot. Anyway, that's week 7 projections. Oh, no, it's not. A-plus player of the week, and I got one other must-see TV game. Spoiler alert, the other must-see TV game is Texans-Packers. C.J. Stroud and Jordan Love are going to go crazy all over the field on each other, and it's going to be incredible. So be sure you watch that one. It's at 1 o'clock. Chiefs-Niners is at 4:25. So good news, if you don't have 3 TVs in your living room, you only have one. The games are at separate times. They're at 2 different times. You can watch them both. It's awesome. It's awesome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Wasn't planned. Sometimes both must-see TV games are going to be at the same time. It's just the way the NFL schedules games. But this week, they're at separate times. And our A-plus player of the week. Guys, I got to go with my man, Jaden Daniels. I mean, I put him in the way too early MVP conversation. And he's playing the Panthers. The 1-5, absolutely terrible Carolina Panthers. Give me Jaden Daniels, A-plus player of the week. 4 touchdowns. Book it. Total. I don't know if he's rushing for 2 of them or not. I don't know if he's throwing all 4 of them. 4 of them, though. Okay? That's it. Producer questions up next. Let's rock.
Okay, first one. I know I asked you last week about the whole Devontae Adams situation.
Oh,
so
yeah.
what are your thoughts about him landing back with Aaron Rodgers? Do you think it's going to throw a wrench in the demoting of Nathaniel Hackett and firing of Robert Saleh? Like, do you think it's going to just add fuel to the fire or what?
So, first of all, let's circle back to a couple things you mentioned there. One, Devontae Adams being traded to the Jets. I said if it's not the Jets, there was only a handful of other teams that I mentioned. But I was right on that. Like, it's got to be the Jets if he's going anywhere. And then secondly, I said Robert Saleh being fired, little long overdue for other reasons outside of the Rodgers fiasco. And Nat Hackett needs to be next. Sure enough, he got demoted. So, again, put it in the credibility column, guys. The Sports Information Podcast. Repeat the question. I'm sorry. I got a little big head over here.
Do you feel like that's just going to add fuel to the fire, adding a legit superstar to your roster?
Okay. Yes, tenfold. I think that another star in New York on a New York sports team playing with Aaron Rodgers is that's you literally threw a 10-gallon jug of gasoline into the fire is what you did. And furthermore, Aaron Rodgers in a press conference, kind of when asked what he was discussing with Devontae Adams recently here in the last few weeks, said something about, we were just talking about a round of golf, and he was, saying that he had zero idea about Nat Hackett was going to be demoted and Robert Saleh was going to be fired. Robert Saleh was going to be fired, and this and that, like little to no inside knowledge on it. And then Devontae Adams is hired and all that. I just don't buy it, man. I don't buy it. Rodgers is pulling the strings.
So there's no surprise.
Robert
that he
is
ends up
suffering.
back with Aaron.
And no, it's no surprise that Devontae Adams got back there. And I think it's not. He's going to alleviate some of their problems, right? They're not going to be able to just clamp Garrett Wilson the whole game, which, by the way, he's still been going crazy. But now their pass attack got scarier. Can you keep Rodgers healthy, though, bro?
I've got another proposition.
Can you keep him healthy? And I don't know. I'm not sold. It doesn't fix their problems. They're still a bad football team.
Do you think that New York sports fans their hopes are too high?
Yeah, always. Next,
the Browns moving off Amari Cooper. He was, quote unquote, their number one wide receiver so far this season. Hasn't put up wide receiver one numbers, but I mean they're playing with the 32nd best quarterback in the league. They're moving on with Jerry Jeudy as their presumable number one, Elijah Moore, Cedric Tillman, Jamari Thrash. Does their offense get any better, or does it stay stagnant?
The Browns?
Yeah.
The Browns are going to get worse. I thought you were about to ask me about the Bills here. Wow.
Oh, no.
No, the Browns are going to be worse. The Browns are... So no one is mathematically eliminated yet from the playoffs, I don't believe. The Browns are eliminated from the playoffs. They're one of the Browns are eliminated. The Panthers are eliminated. I would be willing to go out and say the Titans are eliminated. The Jags are eliminated. Like
the Patriots.
The Patriots. Yeah, exactly. Also, timeout on the Amari Cooper not putting up wide receiver one numbers
this year.
This year, correct. Yeah. He's not in a vacuum. 24 receptions, 250 yards through 6 weeks. It's not great, and only 2 touchdowns. But he's 10.4 yards per reception. He's still that dude.
He's a dog.
So I will make this about Buffalo for a second. They just clinched the division by signing Amari Cooper, or trading for him, rather. Clinched it. And they got him for basically nothing. I got to fix this mic. It's terrible in the camera shot. I'm sorry, guys. But anyway, Amari Cooper to the Bills. Blockbuster deal. Not really, but it's incredible for the Bills. And I'm so happy for Josh Allen. And I'm so happy for Amari Cooper because this is the best QB situation he's ever had. Granted, he had Dak for a while, and Dak's pretty all right quarterback, guys, believe it or not, whether you like it or not. And he did great with Dak. So I'm super, super hopeful for what we can see in Buffalo.
Do you think
and the Browns are going to stay
it's kind
terrible.
of a Devontae Adams situation where he might throw a wrench into things since they've been playing so well so far?
No, because Amari Cooper's not a diva.
I'll second that.
So, not that Devontae Adams is, but lately he's kind of been acting like one. Granted, that might just be part of the James Harden act to get out of your shitty situation. But you play with Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers is a diva. And anyway, yeah. Browns are going to be bad.
Fair. I just want
especially
to see what your thoughts
when
were.
you get rid of a really elite receiver.
There's no hope.
No.
The house is on fire. Nobody's safe.
Deshaun Watson trade might go down as the worst trade in NFL history.
Okay.
Deshaun Watson is bad.
I don't disagree.
Bad football quarterback now. All right. What's
Okay.
next?
Derrick Henry so far through 6 games, 8 touchdowns, 704 yards, putting up video game numbers like
Literally.
Aston Genty, Boise State numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think he's the best running back in the league? Solidified?
This year?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, Christian McCaffrey hasn't played a snap of football. So he's obviously exempt from the conversation. Assuming Christian McCaffrey can come back and do what he did last year, it's going to be really tough. That's going to be a really tough, like 1A, 1B, 1.1, 1.2 kind of thing. Because those, like, what Derrick Henry's doing is insane. I mean, I think he's had 2 touchdowns every other week. I also love the way he spells Derrick with 2 R's and an ICK. That's incredible. Derrick Henry, this year, 119 rushes for 704 yards. Let's talk about that. We're 6 weeks in, and this man's got 700 yards. Like 2,000 yards is on the table. Nuts. 8 touchdowns, 6 yards an attempt, and I mean, not that it matters, but 129 fantasy points. Sheesh. That's my dog right there. Man. Yeah, okay, so not every other week, but every 3 weeks. Week 1 and 2, he had 1 touchdown. Week 3, he had 2. Week 4 and 5, he had 1 touchdown. Week 6, he had 2. But yeah, he's the best in the league by a mile right now. These are his last 4 games. 25 attempts, 151 yards. 24 attempts, 199 yards. 15 attempts, 92 yards. 24 yards, 132 yards. And then in the same order, 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown, 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns. Oh, I'm sorry. 2 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns. So over his last 4 games, he's had 7 touchdowns.
Correct.
Because he's got that receiving touchdown. This is insane. Yeah, he's the best.
Is there anybody that's a close second?
Close? No.
I would agree.
Close? No. No way.
Okay. Next on the list, the
Yeah.
trade deadline's coming up on us. It's about 2 weeks away. We've already seen some big names, Amari Cooper, Devontae Adams that we've already talked about. Cam Akers got traded back to the Vikings, second time in 2 years. But are there any other names that come to the top of your mind when you think about the trade deadline, people who need to be shipped?
Oh, man. Need to be shipped? I don't.
Or are there any teams that need to be looking for particular players?
So I know Mike Williams is getting traded away from the Jets. They just brought in Tay. They got to free up some cap space, and Aaron Rodgers is like the game after Mike Williams has a couple bad drops. Never bad drops. You sign Tay. It's just, and Aaron Rodgers has a tendency to quickly distrust and forget about wide receivers, especially if they're dropping balls early. Hence why he never developed a rapport with young wide receivers in Green Bay. So, yeah, Mike Williams would be on that list. And not off the top of my head. That's a really good question, though. We might revisit that next week.
I'm cool with that.
When is the trade deadline?
November the 5th,
Curiously.
I believe.
Okay. So we still got some weeks. Yeah. We might revisit that next week. I might have a
2
couple
weeks or
targets.
something, I think.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs went and targeted another receiver.
I thought Amari Cooper was going to be a great fit for him.
I think he would have been too, but I mean, makes a lot of sense for the Bills too. So
For sure.
frees up
especially-
Keon Coleman, and now Shakir can be your third, and that's a really good. I mean, the
that
Bills
run is
are
nice.
the Bills are primed and ready to make a splash.
For
So
sure.
I'm excited for him. What's next?
Okay, this is a little far out. The NFL announced that Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta is going to host Super Bowl 62.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of an odd question, but what do you think is the best place for the Super Bowl to be played? It's kind of a 3-parter. Do you think it should be decided on by like a committee, by like the people, and do you think it should be played at like a neutral site where no NFL team plays? It's definitely against the business model, but
So this isn't what I think, but let me preface with this. I've always wondered why the NBA, and I get that it's a series, but it's played at, like, teams get home court, at least for a game or two, right? Why doesn't why doesn't the better team get home field?
I agree.
Why do you not give a city a chance to have that moment of Super Bowl one in our city? I don't get that. And I don't know that that's right, especially in a league like the NFL where every game in the playoffs is one and done. And granted, the higher seed in the playoffs gets the home game, so you get to win playoff games. You get to win conference championships at home. But a Super Bowl, man, and if a team makes it every year, the Super Bowl's there every year, in the case of the Chiefs or something.
But they might not be the best.
But they might not be the best team. But also, circling back to the NBA and teams like that, what happened when Cleveland and Golden State were going every year for 4 or 5 years? It was in Cleveland and Golden State, and people just got over it and bought tickets there. And people probably started to buy condos in those areas because they just knew they were going to be going there once a year. So I think they should look into that and explore that option. But I don't mind it being in a neutral site. I think it's cool to give, Indianapolis a chance to host a Super Bowl, even though the Colts aren't going to be there, and Indianapolis gets that experience of a Super Bowl being in their city still. I like that. I like that idea. So I don't really have a preference, I don't think. But that is an interesting topic just to mull over and talk about, for sure. What's next?
On to the next. Probably the last one, too.
Word.
Steelers are starting Russell Wilson over Justin Fields versus the Jets with Devontae Adams. I think that's going to be a really fun game.
Okay.
See Mike Tomlin coaching it. But do you think that throws a wrench in their success? I know that's kind of been the train I'm on, is who's going to mess up with the additions being made and things shaking up. But, do you think starting Russell Wilson is going to affect Fields and how he moves along throughout the year?
I don't remember if I did, I was wrong. That's probably why I don't remember it, because I probably was wrong. But I said if the Steelers go back to starting Russ, that's a mistake. You're rolling with Fields. So I don't agree with the decision to start Russ when he comes back. And I don't think they're going to drop this upcoming game. Steelers games. I don't think they're going to drop this upcoming game to the Jets, though. Actually,
is that a Sunday game?
Yeah, Sunday night. But it's in Pittsburgh. I don't know. I don't think they'll drop it. I don't know. If they do,
just because you start him doesn't mean he's got to finish the game.
Yeah, that's fair. So maybe a little side quest prediction. Russ plays really bad. They pull him after the first, and Justin Fields gets in, and then they dominate. But either way, I think that Steelers defense is just going to give Aaron Rodgers all the problems he can handle, especially in this limbo stage with the interim head coach and the interim OC, which is essentially just Aaron Rodgers ghost calling plays. And 4 days with practice with Devontae Adams at best? Not even, bro, because you got to count the travel and Steelers are still winning that game. I'm not changing that pick by any means. And I stand on what I say. Justin Fields is the better option there. Russell Wilson, I've got him in the same category as... Actually, no. I'm not going to do that to Aaron Rodgers. That was almost disrespectful. Russell Wilson is in the category of bad quarterbacks. He's a bad quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is just no longer a good quarterback. We'll leave him there. Russell Wilson's a bad quarterback. Oh, all right. We kind of flew through that. That's okay, though. A shorter show's okay. I'm a little tired. So, hope you guys had a good night. Reminder to like and subscribe. Please share. And pet dogs at any given opportunity and go puddle jumping when it rains. And I'll see you guys next week.